Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. To our loyal viewers and subscribers, at the channel we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because it saves lives. That is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives on this channel. We at this channel aid criminals, their financiers, their supporters, enablers, and the likes with a passion, and we do not want them over here. Yes, let us repeat ourselves. We do not want any criminal supporters over here. Please, we do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes, or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you, the criminal supporters, enablers, financiers, and all the likes, to go to prison or madness. Let me repeat myself. We at the Jamaica Young Police channel, we do not want the criminal supporters and their circle over here. We want you to go to prison or madden. Moving on to our video. Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. You know, a lot of people have been asking, how it all started with Squash and his minions in jail and the singing against each other. And we at the Jamaica Young Police channel, we love it because we love informers here, because informers, rats, grass, they are very, very vital to police investigation because they are able to reveal all the players involved. So all the killings between Shabdan, that's Linval Thompson Jr., in which his father, that his mother claims is his father, that man is denouncing him, saying that he's not the father of this boy, and this boy is illegitimate. You understand? That's what the man has said. So all of this all started, between Shabdan, Squash, and Ramos in Rose Heights, Montego Bay, St. James, Jamaica. And these men were all good friends and criminal-minded individuals who do not believe in the rule of law, and they take unto themselves the roles of mini-governments in their respective communities. The men had a fallout, and the gang went their different ways, and the killing started. In 2018, Squash, yes, because he's the center of everythh that is going on. Squash was detained in Jamaica under the state of emergency act sweep in St. James due to increased crime and violence in the parish. Squash spent 5 months in custody without charge before being released in 2019, one day before the state of emergency was due to expire. And shortly after that, Squash took a boat and ended up in South Florida. So people thought back then that Squash was in America legally, but guess what? The Jamaican police had his passport with his work visa and stuff like that, and they did not give it. They did not return it to him. So, we're gonna give you some context about this thing. The killings occur in Rose Heights, Montego Bay, St. James, Jamaica. The victims were all young men and women. The perpetrators were all members of the various gangs. The killings were motivated by revenge, control of the drug trade, and scamming. Then there was a massacre sparked a war between the three gangs. So Ramos and Shabdan team up against Squash, because Squash was they would so-call of the bigger group of criminals or militia in his midst. The war is ongoing with Squash and majority of his minions. They are in jail in the United States of America. Some of them were arrested and charged in Jamaica, but guess what? Those, the cases didn't went anywhere. Man even jumped bail and arrived in the United States of America applying for asylum. We have never seen anything like that. A man wanted for murder applying for asylum. So the killings were a tragedy and could have been avoided if good sense have prevailed. But because of ego and these young men, they believe that they are gods and they determine who live and who die. So that's how we reach this juncture. So we are the Jamaica Young Police Channel. We're going to give you some context and we're going to work assiduously on this series of, the squash faction, the six gang. People pledge their loyalty to this gang and they will go to hell and back for this criminal entity. So it all started, how everything started to spiral out of control was a deadly gun attack on Wednesday, May 25th, 2022. The death counts shooting at a birthday party in Rose Heights, St. James, was 3. Yes. A woman, when they count, she was the latest fatal victim. That's 2 fly. So 4 other persons were hospitalized following the incident believed to be gang related. One of the 2 deceased men were allegedly a member of a gang and operates out of the area, a highly placed police source said. The alleged gang leader was reportedly shot during the incident that occurred at a birthday party at a house in Malwood area of the community. The Jamaica Constabulary Force Communication Unit confirmed that the incident, but it had no further details. Late yesterday, that was last year, initial reports said 5 people were shot, 1 fatally. However, officials at the Cornwall Regional Hospital in the parish indicated that 7 persons were brought in and 2 have died. They pronounced dead on arrival. The gunmen allegedly went into the home approximately 4 p.m. and opened fire, and at least 5 persons inside the house, the report stated. The killing has landed Rose Heights in an all too familiar and unenviable territory as warring gangsters mark each other for death. Frightened residents remain tight-lipped as the fear of becoming a victim after revealing the evil they see is real, preferring to take their chances with silence, even knowing that does not guarantee they won't become innocent victims in the bloody mayhem, is challenging law enforcement. And the reason why challenging law enforcement officers is because most of these victims' families are, they are present during the killing. But guess what? The people do not trust the police because some of the police are a part of the criminal gangs. As we have stated before, a lot of police officers in Jamaica are criminals and they are a part of criminal gangs. As you can see, and you have listened already on this channel. Dopey Police, yes, his name is Corporal Clifford Coleman. He works at traffic headquarters. He's an active member of the Klansman gang, which is a notorious criminal entity and a part of the PMP LGBTQ plus party. You understand? And they have risen to become a force to be reckoned in Jamaica. They are the ones who are responsible for extortion in Jamaica, and it's honestly a PMP that legalizes this form of criminality. Now we haven't seen anything that done to bring it, to curtail it and get rid of it. Remember, we used to have abduction and we have to give credit to a man named Meverell Smith. He's the one who got rid of it because, yes, preemptive strikes. All of those kidnappers who weren't killed, they are in prison because they challenged the police and they used preemptive strike, and preemptive strike save lives. You understand? So, Rose Heights, located just 3 kilometers on the outskirts of the city of Montego Bay. It is one of the largest of the 23 garrison communities in St. James, with an estimated population of just under 7,000 in 1,886 households across its 14 neighborhoods, including Catherine Pen, Villa Heights, Bronx, Beirut, Branchal, Top Road, Vietnam, Green Tank, Dunkirk, 41, and Malwood. Why none of these names represent anything that's positive? Everything, all of these names are about killing. You understand? Murders, shootings and robberies are common in Rose Heights and during a challenging period between January and September 2009. 79 funerals were held for murder victims. In one brutal 2-week span, more than a dozen persons were killed. Tired of burying victims of violence, the late Reverend Nollis, King of Rose Heights Full Gospel Church, had established the Rose Heights Covenant of Peace that challenged the residents to work with him to restore peace and order. So I'll leave the Reverend, all him dead to, you know. Boy, may I tell you, I just saw the thing go on, you know, black people is killing black people, you know, and guess what? Them have the nod of, you know, politician like Mark Golden, because Mark Golden, as you have seen on this channel now, was Mark Golden marched with a known murderer, Danville Palmer, and that Mark Golden is the head of the PMP LGBTQ plus party, you know, and he's marching with a man who's a known killer, you know, who killed unarmed Jamaicans, you understand, and he's marching with him from Jonestown to Anatown. So that is him giving credence, you know, and another and say, yeah, good job my boy, you understand, and I want you people at Anatown to embrace him because I am with him. What kind of leader is that? So you vote, you know, voting for Mark Golden to become Prime Minister is just like what they have done with Michael Manley when they voted for Michael Manley. That's how the birth of criminality rise in Jamaica with Federmap, with Federmap and Borough Boy, and this is where we're at now. So if we want to get rid of criminality, we have to know who the politicians them and the political party to denounce and have nothing to do with them. Because whether or not you want to believe, you know, the PMP is not going to change, you know. The PMP LGBTQ plus party is not going to change because it's in their DNA to be a criminal organization. And we'll soon tell you about who is suspected, who is the person behind the order, the hit against Dr. Douglas Chambers. Yes, and you know, we have received that information, and I cannot believe that the police at Special Branch had this information, but they cannot release it because at the time, if they had released it, that would be like the police playing politics. Oh, speaking the truth is playing politics. So we continue the journey. So the organization was resolute and uncompromising as members would go out and apprehend known gunmen, sometimes with the knowledge and consent of their families. The former councillor of Montego Bay Southeast Division, who died, had also established a homework center at his church and social program where young ladies were taught skills such as baking, sewing and housekeeping, opening up opportunities for employment locally and overseas. The competitive Kings netball team and the Rose Heights marching band he found it remained very popular, and his initiatives are credited for a peaceful period when no murder was committed in the community for nearly 3 years, and minor offences were cleared up within 24 hours. But the vigorous community activism did not get much needed governmental and corporate support, and the HCP's relevance in the community was eventually replaced by the ill-gotten gains from latches scamming by the time of the clergyman's death. So after a pastor death, boy, the scammer them take over everything and then become the mini government, and you know they are the one who determine what was going to be acceptable and a part of the community moving forward. So the ongoing conflict, now the community is on the edge of following a series of attacks in recent times, said to be an ongoing conflict among gangsters in the area. So a drive-by shooting on May 25th at a birthday party along Marlow in the community left 3 persons dead and claimed the lives of, the lives of 27-year-old Chadwell Fraser, otherwise known as Bam Brainerd Chad of Felicity Road, Glen Devon, Chamario Calvin A.C. Chippy of Ballground, Rose Heights, and Tony and Reed, aka Two Fly of Jarrett Terrace, all of St. James. And Two Fly was the girlfriend of Raheem Shelton, yes. Yeah, you know, she's the girlfriend of Jareem Shelton. That's how them call him. J-Man. He's in jail at Broward County. Broward County Jail in Florida. You understand? And that's the reason why he ran away from Jamaica on a boat, courtesy of SQUASH6 boss, and now he's in jail facing double murder. So he had a case of murder in Jamaica. He jumped the case, run, and I'm telling you all these criminal beer face, you know. This one had a murder case in Jamaica. He jumped the case, jumped bail, and then he came to Florida, and then he's seeking asylum for his crimes that he had committed in Jamaica. I've never seen anything like that, seeking asylum in the United States of America. And he was on parole when he killed 2 Americans. And we're going to show you that's how we got here. So, you know, so you have heard now how we, you know, we are. Yeah, so as we had told you before, you know, in regards to how it all started with Squash and his minions and the crimes that they have committed. So we're gonna this week until we complete the entire thing, right up to when he was arrested in Florida. We're going to go back in time and give you guys the information. You understand? Because we know that some people have contacted us and want to know what really happened. So we are just telling you, giving you in details how it started, because everything started from Jamaica. All of these people, they were criminals together, they were friends, and they have a fallout. And based on the information received, it's really Squash is, although they are criminals, you know, we're not making any excuse for anyone. Squash is really the ones who have the minions behind him that pushed him. That's why he's ended up in jail, and he's going to spend the rest of his life in a penthouse, unless he's going to sing against the people them, because you know that how it works in America, you know, is who will get the biggest bite out of the apple. And J-Man is the man that getting the biggest bite out of the apple. And you'll be surprised to know that Sinaway boy, Sinaway is trying to get a bite too, but I don't think it's gonna help him because so many things, but they're waiting. I think the only leverage that Sinaway is going to have if Dwayne Griffiths is arrested and brought in alive, that will kind of help him, because he would be a witness then to the double murder. But irrespective of that, you know, it's just gonna be hell for all of these guys. You know, these guys, they live a life of crime, and that is what is gonna happen to them. They're gonna end up spending the rest of their lives in prison. So you watch, you listen, and you decide. And this is the end of part 1, and we're gonna go through the entire thing. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police Channel out.